I haven't ever really taken the time to learn how to play Villager, and while that statement alone might secure me a spot in heaven, today I'm gonna risk it all because I am so curious as to what the tree does. Like, I know what the move does in a more general sense. You press down B and Villager plants a little sapling, press it again to water it, and it'll grow and deal good damage and knockback on the way up. And if you press down B twice on the same side of the tree while being near it, you'll chop it down with an axe and it will do projectile damage. The falling tree does a lot of damage and kills really early, but I don't know about you guys, or maybe all the villagers I fight suck, but I very rarely get hit by this move, so I have to wonder, in a competitive setting, what is it for? Just to cover everything about the move, I'll add that chopping it down might drop this little wood chip as it falls, which you can throw to deal a little damage, or as a combo extender, or to help you get grabs. And if you press down B again but you're too far away to chop down the tree, you'll just swing the axe and it's a pretty strong hit. Using the axe to deal damage instead of to cut down the tree is a pretty big part of the move, so I'll get to that in a bit. And so the first thing I did was take my villager out to one of my viewer battle streams. Yes, this is a plug, come check out my streams, but also it didn't go very well. So after the stream, I asked around in the villager Discord, and apparently this is like one of Villager's best moves, but it's also pretty complicated. Before I begin, remember this video will be more about the basics of what the tree does for anyone who's new to it or interested in it, and it's not a complete guide on all the niche things you can do with it. So if you're a villager main, that's cool, welcome, but keep in mind that this video is intentionally short, and there are a bunch of things I skipped to keep this video entertaining for everyone, and not just for villager players looking to dissect every little thing this move can do. If you do want to do that, that's really cool, and I encourage you to learn all you can about your main. Just keep in mind that this video shouldn't be your only source of tree knowledge. A pretty important use for the tree is for ledge trapping. There are a bunch of things that you can do with this thing while trying to keep your opponent from getting back into the stage, like planting the sapling in neutral get up distance, and because you can move while watering the tree, you can try to time it if you're reading a neutral get up or a jump or a get up attack, and cover rolls with something like up smash or F tilt or pretty much anything. And even if you don't try to time it to grow right when they pick an option, just the fact that the sapling is there alone could sometimes be enough to scare them into rolling or just feeling pressure to get off the ledge as soon as possible just because the sapling is there. But if you do go for it and land it, ideally watering the sapling while running back to not get hit, it'll kill pretty early. Another thing people do is plant it about half a roll distance away from ledge and safely try to time it to cover every option besides roll. The timing can be difficult, and in the end, Smash isn't a game that rewards you for going for the same option every time, but if you feel like it will do the job, you can pretty safely just throw it out at this distance and hope it does something, just being ready to catch a roll. Obviously this thing isn't a C4, but that's what I'll title this part of the video because it does function similarly to Snake C4 or Link's Remote Bomb in the sense that you can just plant it somewhere and it'll chill there for about 10 to 15 seconds, and at any point you can just go there, water it, and it'll grow. So it basically gives your opponent the maybe I should stay away from this part of the stage mindset, or at least the be careful when I'm there mindset, which helps you camp. My boy loves to camp, and if you fought one villager at any point, you'll notice that this is most players' preferred playstyle. Thanks to moves like Lloyd Rocket, their forward and back airs, dash attack, and tree, he's really good at messing with you from the mid-range, and having the tree out just makes him harder to approach. Planting it and axing at once means you can basically just hug the tree and keep it as a punish tool for when your opponent gets impatient and rushes in, or keep the tree as an obstacle and punish with something else. The tree also blocks most projectiles, so unless you're Steve, it's pretty tough to outcamp Villager. If you look up Villager X SSBU on YouTube, not a lot of videos will show up going in too deep about what the axe does specifically, but based on what I could find and what was said on the Villager Discord server, the axe is great, and here are some of the things it can do. Of course, Smash is a big game, and I bet there are a bunch of more uses for the axe that I won't mention for this video, but here are some of the axe plays I found actually get used at least somewhat frequently in matches and have some viability to them. Okay, so the axe is pretty strong. It does a bunch of damage and it kills pretty early, and it comes out at frame 6, making it a great out of shield option. The hitbox isn't too big vertically, but short hopping and then using it might help you at the risk of it coming out a couple frames later. This isn't something you'll see that much because it's a little situational, but if someone blocks the tree as it grows, then you can use the axe and you'll break a shield, which means you can go wild with whatever punish you want after. Finally, the other things that you can do with the axe are just basic fast kill move things, like using it as a jab block finisher, as a combo finisher, as a kill confirm, as a risky landing option that does a bunch of shield damage, or maybe even just as an aerial if you're feeling it. And the fact that you've given Villager a fast, powerful burst option is really good for him because he's a zoner, and zoners really benefit from quick moves that either kill or put you away from them. And those are the basics of what Villager's down B does. Again, this video isn't an all-in-one tree guide because this move has so much potential and so much tech to it, and all I did was cover the basics because I'm not a Villager main. I'm just a guy that woke up one day and thought, Wait, what does the tree do? So, I mentioned this before, but if you really want to figure out everything there is to the tree, that's awesome. Just make sure I'm not your only source. And maybe look at other guides too, or join the villager Discord once you're done with the video, which is right now. Like the video if you enjoyed, please subscribe. Thanks for watching, bye.